Hey everyone, Laurie Blomer. I am here for this week's card pull for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. It is Sunday, June 11th, 2023. And I thought I would go back to a deck that I discovered recently because I just feel drawn to this one. It's just such a time in spring and summer where things are coming to life again outside, where I really feel pulled to the outside. And I'm also spending a lot of time in my walks, which I take daily, generally several times daily, just sort of observing nature, what's going on out there, how the animals behaving, watching the plants, and just as the other inhabitants of the planet, paying attention to them and just feeling the energy of the season. And now, of course, we're moving towards transition as we approach the summer solstice. So that's exciting. So anyway, I decided to work with this deck again. Carrot cards, which at face value looks very cute and charming, but at the same time, it actually, the cards are beautiful and they're simple, and they allow me to really work with my own interpretation because there's a lot of verbiage on them. By the way, these are great cards, and you might find this is a great deck for kids to work with, both for spiritual reflection and inspiration on their own, but also for storytelling. Might be fun to pull a couple of these cards and just say, what story is this telling you? And see how your kids describe it. Or, what can we learn from what's happening in the rabbit's life? Because card theme is really themed around rabbits. So it occurred to me that would be a fun deck for this. So anyway, I'm going to pull a card for spiritual reflection and inspiration. Maybe I'll pull 2 cards since I've been doing that lately. And with the intention that it's something that I can focus on, and also that the card will be valuable to my audience, to whoever's watching this, for the reflection as well. As always, I'm going to share my impressions and what resonates with me, and I encourage you to think about how it resonates with you, which may be in a very different way than it does for me. So here it goes. Teeny tiny little deck here. I'm used to bigger decks. I'm going to pull my card. My thumb is on this one, and the card is the Slow Dog. This is a charming image. In the past, several weeks back, I worked with this deck for the first time, and we had the Fast Dog. So it's funny to me that we're getting the Slow Dog. So let's talk about this one. The Slow Dog, and it resonates with me immediately, is in my life, I know I tend to be a little impatient. And when I want to get something done, I want to get something done. I tend to be rather goal-driven, as intuitive as I consider myself. Obviously, I'm doing intuitive work for a living. I have a Pisces sun, but I have a Capricorn moon, and she likes to get stuff done. She's very goal-oriented. So what I see this as being as a metaphor for people and also just dynamics in my life, where this dog, is rather large dog who looks rather gravity-bound, is not necessarily difficult, but it means it may be somewhat immovable. Let me just put it this way. So it might represent a situation that's not moving forward as fast as you would like it to. And that is the nature of the situation. Or a person who isn't wanting to move forward as quickly as you want them to. Or at the very least, not willing to move off the spot they're on. And what I'm hearing from my guides is that is as it should be. And I'm also my attention is brought to the numbers at the top. We have a 42, and in numerology, if you put those 2 numbers together, 4 plus 2, it's 6. And 6 is the number of community, of our closest relationships. It could be work, family. They call this the marriage, divorce, and family number because it very much has to do with those relationships that are closest to us. So I feel like this might be representative for you and for me, that we've got a situation or a person that is by its very nature and design slow moving or perhaps a little bit immovable. But again, I'm hearing from my guides that that is as it should be. There's a good chance this guy has some lessons to teach us about just slowing down or patience or trying to push our agenda for somebody who has a different agenda or in circumstances they're just not going to be there to support it. So I would think about what the slow dog means for you, who your slow dogs are, or what your slow dogs are, and sit on the fact that it is as it should be. I might need a plan B, or I might just need to be patient. So that's card number 1. I'm going to go back to my deck here. Oop, drop that one on the ground. Put my slow dog over here, and I'm going to pull another card. And I'm going to look at these 2 separately, but also look at them together. So what's our second card here? What else would the universe want us to reflect upon? This card deck is so small. I'm used to dealing with big decks, so it's kind of hard to work with here. All right, my second card is this one. The bare bush. Oh, I like this one. What is a bare bush? It can mean a couple things. It's interesting if I look at this with a slow dog. The bare bush may be a couple of things. To me, it means either it is something that is slow to grow, or maybe it's slow to foliate. Right now, everything we look around us, this is when we talk about nature, for example. Some of the plants around here retained all their foliage over the course of winter. Others dropped everything. Some leafed up quickly. Others are just beginning to. So I think that the bare bush made me a few things. And I'm going to throw a couple alternative interpretations to you. First of all, it might be something that's not ready. The slowness of the dog, maybe it's not ready to be foliating yet. It just moves slowly. It might also be we've got a slow person or person who's slow to respond to us because maybe they're just done. Maybe this bare bush could also represent a relationship that's coming to the end, or a person who feels like they've got nothing else to give us. So it could be this is where I'm getting resistance, is because this one doesn't have much to give. Maybe we've asked too much of them. Maybe we're just, pardon the pun, barking up the wrong tree, or the wrong bush, as it will. So I see both of these as sort of representing resistance. That might be a drag in our enthusiasm, but again, my guides are saying this is as it should be. There's something to learn here. It might either mean we need to slow down, take a different course, or, and I'll throw one more thing out here, it might be how we work with this person, if it's a person in our lives, to influence them to perhaps work with us. So it might be we're just having to do a little bit more, being sensitive to what they want and what they need, so that they don't perhaps feel like they've got nothing to give or are unwilling to give it. A million interpretations. You know your life better than I do. And again, it's just something to kind of sit with. Drag on the line is always a lesson for us in one way or another. Sometimes it's patience. Sometimes it's how we need to collaborate. Sometimes it means we need to move on. So lots to sit with. Funny, these simple little images offer us a lot to sit with. So I hope you sit with it. Love to hear how your week goes. I'll report back on mine. Again, Laurie Blomer, my website's laurieblomer.com. My email address is laurieblomerpsychic@gmail.com. I hope you have a wonderful week. And one last thought on this, don't get discouraged. These just are situations or beings that can help make us be discouraged. But let's try and be patient here and see what we have to learn here. There's always something to learn, okay? Take care, have a great week, and thanks again for watching.